Well, our guest on this segment is Steve Clem with Tulsa's Pay It Forward. Steve, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you here, my friend. Talk to me about Pay It Forward.
Well, Tulsa Pay It Forward is a group of individuals in the Tulsa area, an informal group of people who just want to spread a little kindness in the Tulsa area. And we get together once a month, and on Sundays, the third Sunday of the month, 1:30 p.m. at 918 Coffee on 11th Street in Tulsa. And we all pitch in $10 and we brainstorm ideas, and then we go out that afternoon and pay it forward. We decide what we're going to do.
Let's talk about that for a minute. When you say we talk about it, what do you come up with ideas of who or what to support?
Exactly.
What do you look for?
Well, we look for something, one, that we can do that afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things on Sunday, for example, that might take some pre-planning, or an organization might be closed on Sunday. So we're looking for something that we can do that afternoon. And something that's only going to take, say, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Something kind of self-contained. A great example of it, last month, someone came to our group for the first time, and he was talking about he said it's National Suicide Prevention Month. Mm-hmm. And we were like, great, what could we do maybe? And so we called the suicide hotline in Tulsa, which is run by Family and Children's Services, and none of us really knew anything about it, but I called them, and I was able to reach someone on Sunday, and I said, hey, we're this group of individuals, Tulsa Pay It Forward. We're looking for something to do this afternoon to spread some kindness. Does your organization have any needs that we could meet today? Mm-hmm. And immediately she said, well, you know, we like to give bus passes to people so they can come in and get some of our services we have here. We have the need sometimes to purchase, sometimes even clothing for families or whatever family needs are that we can meet, because we offer counseling and things like that. So we actually went shopping for them. We bought some bus passes, some gift cards, and ran them by the building where Family and Children's Services was on that Sunday afternoon, and just presented them with probably $150 worth of gift cards and some bus passes, so they could then hand them out to clients as needed. And that was a pretty typical Tulsa Pay It Forward, because
what a great hookup. I mean, that's fantastic.
We just had no idea, you know, going in what we would do that day.
Sure.
But someone brought that to the group and said, hey, you know, what about this? And so we brainstormed, and that's what we decided to do. Now, this month, we meet on the 17th, Sunday the 17th, and someone last month brought to the group, hey, why don't we do a coat drive for kids? Because there's this organization, Project ELF, and they're plugged into the Tulsa school system, and this time of year the schools contact them and say, hey, you know, we've got X number of students, or we've got a student here, a size, whatever it is, that's in need of a winter coat. So there's already been some needs presented this year to Project ELF, and so we are going to collect coats this month for Project ELF, and there's really two ways people could help us do that. One would be by dropping off a new or gently used coat Sunday afternoon when we have our activity at 918 Coffee, Sunday the 17th at 1:30 p.m., and we'll be there a couple of hours. And the other way is making a donation to us, because we've got an anonymous donor who contacted me and said, I'll match any donation this month up to $500. So if someone gives us $20, we'll be able to spend $40, you know, buying kids' coats.
Let me interrupt you for just a minute here, because the man that made this generous gift was also on the receiving end of your organization at one time, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He told me this story. He called me on the phone, and he told me that this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to give us match funds up to $500 for our coat drive. And he said, listen, I'm doing this because there was a time during the recession that my wife and I, it was Christmas morning, and we were looking at our financial situation, and we didn't have the funds to even go and spend Christmas Day at her family member's house because we didn't have gas money for that. And he said, I went outside my front door and there was a big basket sitting on the porch. And he said, so we brought it in and it was all these chocolates. And he said, when we unwrapped them, in each chocolate, there was a different denomination of money. And he said, once we opened all these chocolates, we had about $500 that someone had given us as a kindness anonymously, who knew that we were going through some financial hard times, and they had given us this gift for Christmas and given it to us in this imaginative way.
What a great story.
And he just said, so I would like to, this is my chance to pay it forward with you guys and do something for someone else.
Back on his feet.
Exactly, yes. And now they're doing fine, and he wants to do something for someone else. And he was excited like a kid in a candy store, just telling me, that this is what he wants to do this month. And he said, I've already set aside the money, and we're ready to go.
Steve, how did this get started?
Well, I'm from Sand Springs, and I've got a classmate in Sand Springs named Sharon Coker. Sharon contacted me out of the blue here in the Facebook era when suddenly you're back in touch with all your old friends you grew up with. And she said, I've got this idea for a group I'd like to start. And because you're in the media, I am told maybe you could help me get this going. So she told me about the concept of the group, which is exactly what I've explained to you. And I said, well, sure, we can try it. So we actually put it out on Facebook a lot, which basically you're just reaching your friends on Facebook. So we advertised it for a few weeks on Facebook. We met at a coffee shop in Tulsa. This is before 918 Coffee existed. We met at a coffee shop and no one showed. It was just Sharon and I. We just sat there and she had her Sharpies and she had a little dry erase board where she was gonna write down ideas, and it was just us. But she said, well, let's give it one more shot. Let's try it again next month and see if maybe we can generate more publicity. So the next month we did it, and we had a couple of people that showed up, and they got real excited about it. So very slowly we started this group, Tulsa Pay It Forward, and then Sharon got the idea to put it on Meetup. Are you familiar with meetup.com? That's a group of people that are just looking for things to do. They're looking to volunteer or to meet new people. They get a lot of people who just move to Tulsa and they go to Meetup and they look for things so they can get involved in the community. So once we got on Meetup, we started having a steady stream of people coming to the group, and that's really where the core of the group has come from meetup.com, and they checked us out and liked the group and enjoyed. There's no better feeling actually than giving of yourself. Many people have said the reward for the giver, might even exceed what the recipient of your kindness gets.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt at all. It sounds to me like what you were in on the ground floor of holds a promise of becoming a very large organization before it's all said and done.
Well, what we've found is just that, we have a total membership, really it's an informal membership of about 250 people, but people float in and out of the group. On any given Sunday, we don't know if we're going to have a group of 5 or a group of 15 or 20 that actually, show up on any given month. So it's been really fun. When we first started doing it, people were kind of struggling with the concept of understanding what it is we do. But since then, since we started in 2011, that name Pay It Forward has been assigned to so many different things. A lot of the TV stations in Tulsa will have some kind of Pay It Forward thing they do. So now everyone understands what that is and knows that it's doing a kindness for someone else. And when we do a kindness, like give someone a gift card, we'll go to Quick Trip sometimes. We'll buy $20 gift cards, as many as we can afford, and we'll just go out and hand them out to people who are pumping gas. And we'll say, we'd like to give you this Quick Trip gift card. We're from a group, Tulsa Pay It Forward, and we give them a card basically that says the name of the group and basically says pass it on, pass this kindness on to someone else. And that's how we do it. But people are usually shocked.
I think that's a wonderful story, and no better time than right now. All right, folk out there want to donate or want to become a part. How do they get in touch?
Well, a very easy way to do it. If you'd like to be a part of the Coats for Kids drive for this month and make a donation, which will be matched by our anonymous donor through PayPal, you can email to this address, Tulsa Pay It Forward 1 at gmail.com. That's Tulsa Pay It Forward 1 at gmail.com. So that's one way. Another way that you could check out meetup.com, because our group and a description of what our group is listed at Meetup. Or just come by on Sunday the 17th, 918 Coffee, 1:30 to probably about 3 o'clock. We'll be there. And 918 Coffee in Tulsa is on 11th Street, just east of Lewis. And we'd love for them to come out, participate in the group, or make a donation to the group, because we would like to help ensure that there's no child this winter that goes without a nice warm coat.
I think that's just a wonderful endeavor. Hey, thank you for coming in to talk with us about it.
Thank you.
Very
this
grateful.
exposure is very helpful for us. We
We're
appreciate
going to do
it.
you again, my friend. Now, don't go anywhere. Sit right there, because Steve's going to be joined now by another guest. And this time, the issue is history and culture. Stay with us.